Hey everyone, Dustin here, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode of Building with Dustin, we are going to be doing the tiny country home. This is a 100 square tiny home, and it uses pretty much every pack in the game. I'm sorry about that. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it happens to be. And yeah, this is on a 20 by 20, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 94,350 simoleons. It has a lot type, tiny home residential. It is available on the gallery under my profile, DustinTimeYT. So without further ado, y'all, let's get on into the speed build, shall we? Okay, so with this one, I wanted to make a kind of country style tiny home. I'm trying to do like a whole series of tiny homes. So far I've done a modern tiny home. This is my country tiny home. Well, not a modern, I didn't do a modern. It was like a Mediterranean kind of hacienda style tiny home. The next one is going to be a modern tiny home, and I have some big plans for that one. We'll see how it goes. I'm currently working on my first shell challenge. It's by Jack Koala. He is here on the YouTube channel. He is another YouTuber that does speed builds, and he is just funny, and he's just a nice guy. And I saw this shell that he posted on Twitter, and I thought, I can make a house out of that. So I decided that it would be a good one to do. So that's what I'm doing now currently. But yes, and this house right here, for being a tiny home, had a lot of roofing involved on it. I don't know why, but it was just like roof. And so originally I went with a covered front porch, but as you may have seen from the thumbnail and from the gallery photo, which, by the way, the gallery photo for this house turned out perfect. Absolutely perfect. Couldn't ask for a better one. But I ended up going with a different kind of roof for the porch. I made it more of a pergola style porch. And I just got to tell you, a lot of people have asked me, here we go, this is me building it right here. I sped it up a little bit quicker because it took me forever. Because if you just drew the walls all the way across, it tried to count those as rooms, and it took up our square count above 100. So that's why I did this. So I went ahead and sped it up because it was a lot of like copy and paste, like moving individual walls and sections. And so I decided to do it like that. But yeah, so I forgot what I was saying now. So it's like, oh yeah, I love the new half walls. They are perfect for this. They work perfectly, the little like miniature size ones. That's what I used for this. I used the half walls, and I used some roof trims and some room trims and some wall caps for this. So I think it turned out really well. And this build will skip around a little bit, and I apologize for that because I worked on different things at different times, and it was one of those builds that like I had an idea for this and then I didn't have an idea for that, so I kind of skipped around a little bit, and I tried a couple things because I only had, so many squares. Like you'll see right there, there's a back porch. I kind of forgot my plan for the house, and I made that a back porch, and come to find out that's actually where the bathroom was supposed to go. So I had to move that trick monster, well, not move it, but turn it into a I had to turn it into a room instead of a porch. So, and as usual with a lot of my builds, the house itself is base game. For the most part, a lot of the packs are just like flowers, decoration, things like that. If you download this, you might be missing a few things, but they'd be easy to replace. And yeah, so, and I was kind of worried too, because when I like to do like the trims, like over there, the white one between the roof and the wall, I can't remember for the life of me what they're called. I think it's like a phrase. Is it a phrase? I think that's what it's called. You have to use like you take the roof down, and I don't know if you know this or not, but you take the roof down and then you put a room across the top of the house, and then you can add that trim to the bottom part of the room. And so on this one, I couldn't do that because a room on the roof would have counted as more tiles and more room. So what I did, and it took me a little while to figure it out, is I found out that if you use the smallest half wall and you run it along the edge of the gable roof, it doesn't take the gable roof away, but it allows you to add that trim that you normally wouldn't be able to add to keep it a tiny house. So prices be damned, I got that solved. I love this little house. It's all about like outdoor living and like country living, and kind of just being one with the land and being like peaceful and serenity. And somebody on, I believe it was Twitter or it might have been Facebook, commented they could see like kind of a modern grandma and grandpa living here that had grandkids, and I love that. So that may be who I put in this one when I put it in my save file, because this is obviously going to go in my save file. Right here, those flowers I'm putting up now, I learned that if you put one up and then you size down another one and raise it up, it looks like they're growing together. Perfect. Chef kisses. That awning right there, I'm not a huge fan of awnings in real life. My parents actually have metal ones in their house, and we've been redoing their house and renovating, and I'm like, can we build some wooden ones for that? Because I just hate the metal ones, and I'm not a huge fan of them anyway. But in The Sims, I like that one, and it's actually a base game one, which is kind of nice. So there's that. Yeah, and so I didn't really have a plan for the front yard of this at first, but then I decided as I was building it, like I wanted to have like a little like kind of front fenced in yard and like a back fenced in yard. And I just now noticed, I realized looking at, because I looked over at my other screen and I saw the gallery shot of it again, and I realized I changed the fence from the picket fence to the fence that you'll see towards the end of the build. And part of me is kind of second guessing that because I like it, but at the same time I kind of wanted to keep the picket fence fill. That plant that I just put down, the kind of like viney one, I love that plant. It's actually only like this big, but if you size it up, it looks fantastic, and it's great for ground cover. Somebody commented on my video the other day and said, poor Dustin, he just stands out there and on the street and doesn't get to enjoy these houses that he's part of being built. And I'd like to tell everybody that Dustin is the builder. This Dustin is just the agent. I'm just showing you this house, trying to sell it to you. And here's where you'll see that I changed to a different picket fence, and then I'm not sure if it shows me on camera changing the fence again. I don't think it does, but now looking at it, I really like that picket fence, so I kind of wish I hadn't changed it. But at the same time, I think the one I chose is actually pretty good, so I'm not complaining about it. I really do like it. Something interesting happened to me the other day. So today, the day of me recording this, it is Saturday, and Monday I woke up and my back was hurting really bad and I couldn't hardly walk. Like I almost didn't even go to work. And it has proceeded. Okay, so here's one of the, real quick, here's one of the little areas that I was working on. It's like a little pond courtyard area. I tried to put a fountain over there, but nothing was fitting, so it kind of jumps around a little bit because I tried it like 50 different ways. But anyway, so I couldn't hardly walk, and so when it went on, like today's like the first day I woke up and my back didn't hurt, and I just don't know what I did to it. I think it's my sciatic nerve, but I used to have issues with my back in the past because some of you may or may not know I was a gymnast and a cheerleader when I was younger, and so I think I messed up my back doing that. But nothing like this. Like, it was horrible. Like, I take that back. Monday I did go to work, but I ended up leaving at noon, and I just came home and sat on a heating pad. It's actually like right there on the floor, and I worked on a couple builds because I couldn't really sit on the couch because I couldn't get the heating pad to stay against my back because the couch is fluffy. And so I've been spending a lot of time in my office, which I do anyway. But yeah, it was definitely, I was like, I am too young to have this kind of back pain. Like, it's insane. And Scott was like, well, you should go make an appointment with the chiropractor. And I was like, well, I want to give it. Oh, for those of you who don't know, the lilies that I'm putting in there just now, those come with Snowy Escape. But when you put those lilies in, they have koi fish that swim around underneath them, and it just makes the ponds seem so much more lively. I love it. I love this little area. But yeah, so he should make an appointment with the chiropractor, and I was like, well, I'm gonna wait a couple days and see how it goes. And I mean, it was awful. I think would been down and be like, and I couldn't do anything, and it was the hot mess express. I'm telling you guys, I just was not having a good week this week when it came to my back. Work wasn't horrible, but it yeah, there's some things like I do inventory at an engine company for tools, and our inventory is just really messed up, which is no fault of my own. I just started, but it's going to take a lot to fix, and I just I'm kind of at a loss for words on how to find, or loss of ideas. I don't know how, like, I'm trying to figure out what the problem is, and it's like one of those things, like, you don't know what the problem is and you're trying to figure out the problem. And I guess maybe I need to start looking more at the solution than the problem. But the thing is I think that the computer system is counting things wrong. Just so you guys know, that little pergola right there that I'm placing, I had a couple people ask me on Facebook where that's from, and it is from the Get Together pack. I thought it was base game, but it's actually Get Together. Or I might have told them Get Together. I don't remember. But those two plants right there, I absolutely love those plants, and I really want to use them. But the one on that side right there, it is from movie hangout stuff, and it is so big, which I like, but the leaves go like this instead of like up like this, and it's so hard to put it in a corner because it goes through the walls and through pretty much everything that it touches. And so yeah, it's just one of those things. I forgot what I was saying, but anyway, I was trying to think of something funny to tell you guys, and I don't know, or I had something funny to tell you guys, I can't remember what it was. It's not been a very funny week. I mean, nothing like bad has happened, it's just nothing like funny has happened. Although I did kind of get into an argument with an engineer at work. He ordered a tool, and it was supposed to be a test tool, which means they don't use it in production. And so he should have been able to just like come and collect it. But the way he ordered it, it put it into my inventory. And so I got it for him, and I was like, okay, well, I need to issue it to you. What's your employee number, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I'm not paying for this. We've already paid for this. And I was like, well, it's in my inventory, so you're not leaving with it until I issue it to you. And so he got kind of shitty and was like, oh, blah, 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 and I'll go talk to your boss. And I'm like, then you go ahead and do that, because you're not taking this tool without it being issued to you. So, and my boss called and was like, hey, you did the right thing, don't worry. And I said, I wasn't worried. I said, I'm not going to get talked to like I'm an idiot by this guy just because he's an engineer and I'm not. And so, that guy has a really shitty attitude anyway. And I've already told my boss, I'm like, I'm forewarning you. He comes back here and starts yelling at me again, it's not going to be pretty, because I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not a dumbass just because I don't have an engineering degree. So, I'm just saying. So, this is using the Country Kitchen Kit, which I love the Country Kitchen cabinets. But I feel like the upper ones are a little troublesome, because I feel like there's not like a lot you can do with them. Like, they're very specific. Like the one with the pots and pans on it that you just saw a second ago is like an end cabinet, and it only fits like up against the cabinets a certain way. And I feel like if it would have been like a wall cabinet, like, like a flat one, like the regular size ones, I felt like it would have been a better use, because you could have used it more places. I must have went through like 50 different types of wallpaper in this house, you guys. Like, I changed it and changed it and changed it and changed it and changed it until I finally got to the wallpaper we're in now. And I felt like it was kind of a country, like, could be old, could be new, could be used kind of situation. That couch you just saw, we ended up actually going with that one. And I didn't change it on camera, which I've been bad about that here lately. Like, I'll get done with a build, and then I'll be like looking at it or taking photos, and I'm like, oh, I should change this. And then I change stuff, and then there's no evidence of it on camera. But I do like that one. It came with cats and dogs, just so you guys know. The window seat came with cats and dogs. And there's a little bit of mixture of everything in here. And I really love how this little house turned out. And it actually, for being a tiny home, on the inside, to me, does not feel very small, because the kitchen, living room area is pretty big, and the bedroom is actually quite big as well. So it's kind of nice because it doesn't feel like a tiny home. But you still, granted, now I know it's a small home, and everybody like tries to correct me on this and says, oh, well, it's not technically a tiny home. Well, last time I checked, if you look right up at the top of the screen up there, it says you've placed 100 tiles of this 100 tier. So it's still technically a tiny home. It's a small home. You only get like one of the perks, I think. But still, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you get the lower the bills perk, hell, that's a good one right there, because it lowers all your bills, and the Sims bills are kind of ridiculous. So I think I told you guys this a while back. I read somewhere that one simoleon is worth $153 US, and that just blows my mind. That's like, I don't even know what the word is. I wanted to say huge inflation, but it's not huge inflation, but it's just like, damn, Sam. No wonder things are so expensive. So I learned this trick from Little Simsy. I'll give credit where credit was due. If you take the wall out, then you can put the TV over the mirror above that fireplace, and I love the way it looks. And I thought that fireplace, which is from Pets, was very fitting. If you want this house to be like fully decorated on the inside, the main packs you're gonna need are like the kitchen kit and pets, because there's a lot of pets in this house, a lot of pets. So unfortunately, if you don't have pets, you will be missing things. But I feel like a lot of people has the pets pack because pets are so common in real life that I think a lot of people get that pack just because. And a lot of people like Brindleton Bay, which is an absolutely gorgeous world. I built this one in Windenburg because I thought it was very fitting for the house itself, because it's kind of a country vibe, and so that's what I did. I like this one a lot, and I always like say in my speed builds that, oh, I'm gonna have to find a reason to use this house, but this one I don't know if I will, but I do think it's quite cute. It's not really, it's a little out of my comfort zone, so if you like it, make sure to give the video a thumbs up or leave a comment, because it, like I said, it's very much out of my comfort zone. But I really wanted to do a country style tiny home, because I want to do like all the different kind of genres or whatever, themes, schemes. Is that what it's called? A design theme, a design scheme, a design scheme country home. So yeah, so country was just one of them. Next I'm going to do modern. I think you guys might have just heard my nose whistle a second ago. It is raining outside currently, and myself and Scott both, when it starts raining and stuff like this, we get, and I feel like I sound like really congested, so I apologize for that. I need to take a Sudafed. I have not done so yet, but I think my sinuses whistled a second ago, so if they did, I apologize for that. But I'm just kind of like, I woke up like this. I woke up congested. Oh my goodness, so funny. My boss is on vacation, and so the person filling in for him is a supervisor at another location, and he was there most of the week, and he came up to me the day after I hurt my back. He had sent me an email. He was like, hey, you know, good morning, I heard you're back in today. If you need anything, just let me know. I heard you were having a back issue, blah, 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 blah. And he said, if you're still in a lot of pain, I need to know right away, which I thought was kind of odd. And I'm like, okay. So I was, but I didn't really say anything because, I mean, I wasn't planning on going home or anything. And so he came back to talk to me in my office and was like, hey, so, you know, how are you doing? How are things going? And I'm like, oh, yeah, man, I'm good. And he goes, okay. He's like, well, I just want to know, did this happen here? So they all assumed that I hurt myself at work, and they were all concerned because they thought I hurt myself at work. And I was like, no. I woke up I said I woke up and it was hurting. And then I was telling a friend of mine, I should have looked at him and went, I woke up like this, but I didn't. You know, you think of these things after the fact, and I'm pretty sure my nose just squonked again. So I apologize. I probably should have. But the thing is, my nose isn't running. I'm just congested. So I was gonna say maybe I should have went and blew my nose before I did this video, but it's not like that. It's not that kind of congested. It's just like I need like to. I asked Scott earlier if I could get a facelift because I thought it would be pretty, but my luck, I would get a facelift and there would be one just like it underneath. So I noticed something too really annoying when I was building this house, because a lot of times I do all my testing at the end, but with this tiny home, I was trying to do the testing like as I went, because if I messed up on something and it wasn't functional, there wouldn't be really like a lot of leeway to fix it if I got too far into the build. And so I noticed every time I kept going into live mode, which maybe I need to change the settings to not be auto lights, but I don't think I did that. The lights kept shutting off. So then as soon as I'd go back into build mode, that's why this bathroom right here is so dark, because as soon as I'd go back and see, I had to turn it back in. I had to add another light so it was on. So it was just like, yeah, stop it. So there's that. Yes. So here we're getting close to the end of the video. We have about another minute or so left. This is the bedroom. I mean, look how big this bedroom is. Like, if you looked at this bedroom in this house, like, you really, in my opinion, it does not look like it's a tiny home. And that's one of the things I really liked about it, is because it doesn't feel like a tiny home. I messed around with the color scheme on this bedroom a lot, as you can tell. I changed the colors of everything like 4 or 5 times. I changed like, oh my goodness. And actually me putting the bed out there now, I actually put the bed in there before and tried like 15 different beds and different colors, but I edited all that out because ain't nobody got time for that. And so it was just kind of like, that sucks. And so, so sorry, I'm a little weird. But I actually like the way the bedroom turned out. I think it fit the aesthetic of the house really well. I think it was a very, like it could be a country, like old, like it's a country room and it looks like a country room, but it also could be like, it doesn't necessarily have to be an old person. It could be like a younger person who's like outdoorsy and likes like the country aesthetic and the country lifestyle maybe. I don't know. Those windows are base game. I love those windows. I'm a sucker for some of the base game windows. Like, genuinely did not use them for the longest time. And now that I like look at a lot of them, I'm like really impressed by them. So I'm just saying, give your base windows a chance, kids. Give your base windows a chance. We are coming up towards the end. We have about 40 seconds left. There will be photos at the end. Well, actually, we're to the end of the speed build. The 40 seconds is photos. So here's the outside of the house, guys, with the pergola porch. Here's the back with a little patio and little pond area. That's the little pond area and little sitting area. A closer look at the patio, which I love. A little garden area, because your sim can do some gardening. Here's the main room. Here's a close-up of the kitchen. I love this kitchen. I think it turned out really cute. Here's a close-up of the living room. I absolutely love this living room. And here's a close-up of the bedroom. Here's the other side of the bedroom. And here's a little close-up of the bathroom with the lights on so you guys can actually see what's going on in the bathroom and what it looks like. Okay guys, so that's it for the speed build. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed building it. I really like the way this house turned out. I think it's super cute and it's got that country vibe that I was going for. So if you did like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to ding that bell so you get notifications when I post new videos. Also, I post live when I go on Twitch, which I haven't been live in a while, but I'm going to start doing it again soon. So you can come over, hang out, and we can get to know each other. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend and a great day, and I love you to pieces. Bye now.